So let's talk about first of all, what episode are you on for Better Call Saul?
I gotta check. Every time you ask me, I gotta check. So
What just happened?
Give me a sec. I gotta check.
I believe in you.
So the next episode I have to watch is episode 7.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna say
Yeah. So I just I remember Lalo cut off a dude's leg with an axe.
Mm-hmm.
The episode's literally called Axe and Grind, so
Indeed.
very fitting. And then Saul has he got the receptionist girl working for him again.
Mm-hmm.
And
Francesca.
Francesca, and she decorated the whole place with like couches, and it's all gray.
Indeed.
Doesn't look like the office we know.
Yet.
Yeah. And then Howard and Jimmy had a boxing match, and so now he has a PI following Jimmy everywhere he goes.
That was a fun one.
Yeah, so that's around where I'm at. I forget what's going on with Kim. Oh, she has that. Yeah, I think the very last thing was that they were trying to come up with. So Jimmy hired an actor to play like this judge that I guess was supposed to be important to whatever they're doing with Howard.
Right.
And then it turned out that Jimmy saw the real guy and he had a broken arm.
Yeah, broken arm. That was the greatest reveal.
And he calls Kim and he tells her about it, and he's like, you know what, we'll just regroup when you come home tomorrow. She's like, it happens today.
Yeah.
And fucking U-turn, and the episode ends right there. So that's the last thing I saw.
Oh, dude, episode 7 is a classic. You'll see what I mean, bro. It's a great culmination. It really is. I won't say anything, but it's great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh man, dude, you have to watch that, and you have to text me like your feelings immediately. For people who have seen the show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Whoa, shit! It's good. You trust me. So that's a good part of the show. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, Nacho.
Yeah.
How do you feel about how he went?
About how he went?
Let's talk about how he went.
I think it could have been a lot. Let's just say in the cartel, you don't really get ceremonious deaths, and the same goes when you translate that to TV. Just kind of sucks the way he went out, and I don't mean sucks and like, oh, they could have done it so much better. It's like, no, it's just like the circumstance and like everything that led up to it is like, damn, you kind of wish things went better for him, because he is a likable character.
The way he went out was probably best case for him too, because he went out on his own terms.
Definitely.
The original plan for him was to get shot by one of Gus's guys, to make him look like a hero.
Wasn't it Mike that was going to shoot him?
Mike had the sniper, but both of them didn't know about Mike. Because remember how Mike is trying to be hidden from the cartel guys, like the other ones.
Yeah, but only the Salamancas and the other guys didn't know he was there. Gus could have easily just been like, oh, I had a guy, watching just in case.
Right, but I don't think that was the plan. It was to have one of the two guys next to him shoot him. Like, have him run at this guy, and then that guy will shoot him. That's what that... I forget the names of them, but it was, one of the other guys.
Iris and...
Not Gomez. Wrong Hispanic, my bad.
Isn't it Victor, the other guy?
Victor, yeah, right.
Tyrus and Victor.
Yeah, so Victor was supposed to shoot him. Now that you said the name, Victor. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Victor was supposed to shoot him. But, that's what he was supposed to do, is he was supposed to, like, just break out of the tie twist, whatever, and then he was supposed to go towards Victor. I think he was supposed to kill Juan Bosa. I forget.
I think so. It seemed like he was supposed to,
because he stabbed him, and then Gus was like, "Do it," and Mike was like, "Come on, kid," and then he said, "No, fuck you guys." Bang, shot himself.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot more sense now. So Victor was supposed to be the one shooting because Mike was supposed to be low key. Gus did not want Mike to be there initially. Mike said he's going to do it. He said, "I want to Overwatch just in case," So it was Victor was supposed to shoot him. Anyway, it was a good fucking scene, and I really love Michael Mando's performance for that particular scene.
Oh yeah, bro, the line delivery.
He can channel rage.
When you think of me, you fuck.
Yeah. So when you're sucking down on your Jello, so on your wheelchair for the rest of your life, you think of me, you twisted fuck. But it's not just his voice; it's his eyes. His eyes.
Yeah.
Man, I swear, como se dice, the actor for him, what's his fucking name? 1 second.
For Hector?
Hector, yeah. What's his fucking name?
It's crazy. I just looked him up the other day.
I forget. He recently died. I should know this.
He did, yeah. Don't remember his name.
Mark Margolis, yeah, he was in Scarface too. Anyway, Mark Margolis, I'm telling you, I bet he was a little afraid inside. He's like, "Hey, man, my bad."
All right, chill, bro, chill.
Yeah, we get it. It's just a movie.
they say cut, and it's just like, "You good, bro?" He's like, "Yeah, chill."
Well, he's got that inner rage in him. That's something. I'm really surprised Michael Mando hasn't gotten more roles. I feel like that's just because he's not going for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe he just isn't going after the roles. I'm not saying that in like a bad way. I'm saying he just chooses not to. Because if he did, with those kinds of performances, man, he could do whatever he wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I also feel like, unfortunately, he'd be typecast.
Yeah, like as Voss.
Like after Voss and then Nacho and then his brief appearance in Spider-Man Homecoming. He's a villain or like a bad guy technically in all three of them. Because Nacho, he's likable, but he ain't really a good guy.
He's not a good person. But you see, that's the thing, right?
He's more anti-hero, I would say. But even then, he's still a villain with the shit he does.
Yeah.
Like simply just
especially
the
at the
business
beginning
he works in. Oh yeah. He's not a good person.
He's not a good person, but you see that he regrets it later on. You know what I mean? It's
like
he's starting to look at
wants
it.
out.
Like, well, it's too late now. He's a lost cause now. So he's human. He regrets it, but he can't get out. And he's afraid that if he gets out, that his father's going to be killed. So
he was in too deep.
Yeah, he was in too fucking deep. And the way that he went out is the best possible scenario. Someone was going to die, and he chose himself over his father. So that's it. Because his father wasn't going to go. If his father chose to run with him, then they would have gotten away scot-free, no problem. But his father didn't want to go. And hey, that's honorable enough, because his father wanted his son to pay for his crimes,
I'm curious as to where what his plan is right now. Because right now they're showing us scenes of him, and I think he's in Germany, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, so what he did was that he attacked the one of the workers at the mines, and so he just interrogated him. So now he has information. We don't know what that information is yet, but he has that information. That girl that he went out with was Werner's wife, so he's gathering information, but now he's got all he needs. So now I don't know what he's going to do, but now it's time for execution. Time to deal with him. Like, oh boy.
What I like about what they've done with Lalo, I would say over the course of this final season, is that they're giving you bits and pieces of what he's up to, but you don't know where it's leading to or what his plan is. It's like we're seeing him from an outside perspective, because if it was from his perspective, we would kind of know everything that he knows, and that's not really the case right now. They're just giving you like little bits and pieces. And, usually when they do that for Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, it's going to culminate into something big.
Well, what they're doing is that they're instilling that kind of fear that Gustavo feels, that Saul feels, It's like they're fucking scared of this guy. Even though Saul quote unquote knows that Lalo is dead, Kim knows, but Kim has never told Saul. So
not yet.
Yeah. But you see, that's just speculation. They don't know. No one knows.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like Mike was like, dude, this guy, come on. Same with Gus. Gus just knew, So, like I said, I won't say what happens, whatever. But you understand that these next 2 episodes are really fucking bombastic. I mean, the whole show is. The whole fucking season is amazing. But I think 7 and 8 are a lot more bombastic. You understand? They're more action packed. You'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like it's gearing up more towards a finale. And then I assume we're going to get more flash-forward stuff that we haven't seen yet. Because, like, the pictures that they show for Netflix is all black and white for, like, the upcoming episodes. So I assume it's just more flash-forward stuff.
That's crazy, man. You'll see. I believe I won't say until you get closer to it. But it's pretty good. The last 4 episodes are really good too. You'll see.
Gotcha.
Anything particular? Oh yes. How do you feel about Howard right now? What's going on? I mean, they're giving him the fucking little cocaine bag in the locker, that kind of shit. Oh my God. How do you feel about that?
Okay, so in a way, and it's just because of how the show is structured. Obviously, I'm rooting for Kim and for Saul or Jimmy, but it's like I feel bad for Howard.
Yep. Because
really, he's just minding his own business.
He's just a normal guy.
He's just a guy going about his day, and they're fucking with him. And it's like they're literally destroying his reputation, and he hasn't even like really done anything
right
to Jimmy. Like Jimmy just takes everything fucking personally, and like season 1 I hated Howard, but that was before we knew about all the Chuck stuff.
Yeah. First of all, I'm sorry, I gotta cut you off. That twist with Chuck actually being the one behind all of Howard's action.
Yeah.
That wasn't originally the plan, right? Originally, the plan was to have Howard be the bad guy and the Chuck kind of be like the guiding brother, and so his death would have been more tragic. But then throughout it, Vince Gilligan and them felt more confident with the writers, and they decided that if anybody's going to screw over Jimmy, put him on this path, it should be his blood. So it was just a better decision, and I'm 100% behind that. Chuck seemed like the guy, like a big brother, real nice. He's stern, but he's fair. And then he turns out to be this narcissistic piece of shit. Like, yes! Yes!
He's not much different from Jimmy,
It's crazy. Yeah, exactly. Except he's on the other side of the spectrum. That's it.
Yeah. And it really leans into that fact, because the whole thing of Jimmy not caring about Chuck's death, like... just using it, for his own gain, it works so much better when we realize how much of a piece of shit Chuck was. If Chuck was a likable character, and then Jimmy,
we wouldn't like Saul.
We would not like Saul at all. And
that's it.
At least in this way, it feels reasonable for the character, and it keeps Jimmy in somewhat of like we get it, because we feel what he feels watching the show.
But now I fucking hated Howard.
When Chuck committed suicide, I fucking hated Chuck. I was like, thank God.
Immediately, right? Immediately. He didn't even admit. That's the thing. Jimmy figured it all out. Kim didn't tell him anybody. It's just Jimmy figured it out, and he's like, "You're right, Jimmy." Oh fuck! Yeah. Jesus Christ. That was some crazy shit, man. So, the show was so good. Go ahead.
I do feel bad for Howard. Just leave him be, man.
Right? Well, the reason why they're doing
money
this...
really, that important.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going for here, is that there's two things here. One, it's their three things. Vicarious thrill from the prank and getting away with it. I mean, you see them fucking while they're doing this craziness. They're really excited because they get a vicarious thrill from it, That's why they get more intimate, more sexual with each other, because it's exciting, right? And then you also add on to that the Sandpiper money, which is an obvious motivation. But the third one is Jimmy needs somewhere to put his rage, his grief, and Howard is a familiar foe. Even if Howard wasn't the actual enemy, he's still a familiar foe for him. So he thinks, let me pull all this negative energy into this. Because one, I'm getting more money. Two, Kim really likes it. And three, fuck Howard. You understand?
Yeah.
So, what I love about it as well, it's multi-layered. It's not just for the money. Continue.
Yeah, and it's crazy to see Kim essentially get corrupted by Jimmy.
Oh, tell me about it! Tell me about it!
It really feels, it's like the Kim in season 1 would not be doing the shit she's doing right now at all. And, I remember talking to my dad about it, and he's like, the shit women do for love. I'm like, yeah.
He got it. That's exactly what it is, though, is that... And the little flashbacks to Kim Wexler's mother are essential here, because it shows that instead of her backing away from that kind of behavior and disassociating from the person, she would double down so she would gain affection. You understand? She felt like she belonged when her mother was having her scam stores and shit. Yeah, have you seen that scene yet?
The scam stores?
Where she scammed the store? Like children version of it.
It was with the security guard, right?
Right. So
When
you
she
get
stole
it.
like the earrings and the necklace.
Exactly. So you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
it. It's like she would only feel that kind of affection, not when she was being straight, because when she was trying to be straight and she was trying to be good, her mother was drunk and she was driving, she would yell at her, curse at her, then drive away. We don't need you anyway. But the only time she would ever get any kind of affection from her mother was when she was scamming, when she was doing things she wasn't supposed to do that hurt other people, you know? So she
When she was doing things Jimmy would do.
Exactly. So that level of doubling down came from her upbringing. It wasn't just something that came out of nowhere. So those little flashbacks are essential, and I'm really glad they put them there. I mean, it's so wonderfully crafted. Every single character there is not just a character; they're a human being. They have layers.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that I love about Lalo's character, which by the way, we'll talk about the season 5 finale in a minute. One thing I love about the Lalo character is that he has depth. First of all, he's a big fan of showmanship. When he was talking to Mike Eladio, not Mike Eladio, Mr. Eladio, whatever the fuck his name, Don Eladio, he would bring, instead of just giving him his money and giving him his money, instead he bought him a really fucking badass car, threw him the keys, and then had the money in the trunk. Magnum PI.
Yeah.
Right? One thing for him is that he believes in showmanship. He understands that it's better for him to be more charismatic with the money than just giving him the shit regardless. It makes Don Eladio appreciate him more. So that's one. Two, and this is the biggest one for me, when he mentioned that he only gets 1 to 2 hours of sleep every night. You know what that tells me? Is that that's the life of somebody who constantly has to look over their shoulders. He never feels safe. He never feels like he's at home. That can be associated with fear for your life, but it could also be associated with guilt. I'm a fucking monster. I do what I do, but I have to do it, quote unquote, right? So that's two things that it tells me. It's not just fear for your own life, but it's guilt, because that's people who can't sleep associated with either stress, fear, or guilt, and those kind of come hand in hand. So when he said 1 or 2, I'm like, shit, let me get what you're drinking,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm curious. At any point, did you feel like you wanted Nacho to just kind of tell Lalo what was happening with Gus?
With Gus? Yeah, but the thing is that if he brought it up, fucking Mark Margolis, Hector, that would come out eventually as well, Yeah. So we can't say anything.
Yeah, I mean,
he's
obviously
in the
he did it.
line.
Yeah. But there were a couple moments where I'm just like, damn, like I wonder what Lalo would do.
But that would be fucking cool, right? But see, we're getting that now. He knows the truth now, so that's pretty cool. But the thing is, right? Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's also like, would he trust? Like, is him and Ignacio or Nacho at a point where would Lalo try to help him with his father in some way?
No.
If Nacho just told him.
No, I don't think so at all. I think he's a sociopathic he's a psycho. Understand the way that he treats people, the way that he talks to people. Remember how he went to that innocent family's fucking home, just completely innocent, and got a random fucking husband, and he just killed him and threw him in that area where the shootout happened. That shows how sociopathic Lalo is. He is empty and hollow inside, and Nacho sees that. If Nacho were to try to quote-unquote sympathize with Lalo, it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't. So that's why he would never do something like that. It's just... But I see where you're coming from. If Lalo was more human, that could have been a plot point, but he's not. That's the thing. He's just not. 1 to 2 hours, he's a fucking alien, That's it. But let's talk about that fucking badass final episode of season 5. Holy shit. Man. Motherfuckers sent in all the fucking troops. They sent in a hit squad to get Lalo. And man, he killed one of them with a fucking pan. Alright? A fucking pan. And then at the end, when he was going through that hole that was under the bathtub and he came out on the other side of the wall, you know what I thought in that moment? When I thought of that moment, here's my perspective. Lalo, he gets up. He's going up the ladder. And then once he gets out, he looks right. Empty empty runway. He can run away. And he looks left. There's the action. There's the fight. Motherfucker thinks for a minute, checks his gun, then walks into the fight like, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. You know? Violencia way. You know what I mean? Oh, my God. Yeah. When I saw that shit, I was like, okay, Lalo's the real fucking deal here, you know? He goes back in and he taps the guy. When he shot that guy in the bathroom, his face afterwards, that was murder, bro. Oh my God. Jesus. And then he fucking sprays and prays in the tunnel. Just really fucking cool, man. And once again, it just shows the aggression that Lalo has. He's not capable of sympathy or anything like that. He's a fucking monster, you know? And I feel like that talk between him and Nacho, where they were talking about the lack of sleep, was essential. It was so fucking well written and just put together. I mean, he got back up to fuck with the oil, right? To have the fire, great distraction. And then he came back in with the drinks. Just, it's so refreshing. You know what I mean? It really is. Mm-hmm. It's so fucking good.
It's just such smart writing and filmmaking.
It really is.
And not only that, it's like the cast. I hadn't heard of like most of the actors before they did Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, but it's like, damn, everyone hits.
Yeah, Rhea Seehorn, fucking Kim Wexler, amazing.
I think in terms of performance, she might be my favorite.
Yeah, she might be the best. Seriously, it's ridiculous. You know. Mm-hmm. Michael Mando, I feel like he didn't have too many moments to shine. He definitely had moments to shine, like in the middle of combat and whatnot. Like those were really good moments for him, but he didn't have a lot of monologues. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like he had less to do as the show kind of went on.
Right. But kind of just held.
You know, and there wasn't like a lot of, you know, like you said, there's not a lot of moments where he kind of gets to flex any acting muscles, because I feel like he's in a lot of samey kind of scenarios, because he's just a smaller character in a bigger story. Right. And I think the story overshadowed him way more. And so Michael Mando, like, he did a fantastic fucking job, but he didn't have many opportunities to shine.
But what I really like and what I fucking love is that they gave him a chance to go out on a really strong note. And that's what that was. Mm-hmm. It was him pretty much just facing his oppressors, facing the guys who keep him down, and just letting it all out in front of him. I switched your fucking meds for sugar pills. Yeah, it's like, oh my God, Jesus. And then he had the capability to kill Juan Bolsa, but then he told himself, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna go my own way. You know? Yeah. I love that shit, man. It's
his death reminded me a lot of Hank's in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, big time. Dead in the sand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jeez, man. But dude, it was just such a damn fine fucking time. What a fucking show. There are so many more moments that I'm not thinking of. You know, when como se dice, Saul called Stephen Ogg to come back because Mike wasn't available. You know, like, that's cool. Fucking the moment where Saul called that guy to rob that little printer store, you know, it's like, oh wow, he doesn't do this shit for the money, man. He just does it for the thrill. He doesn't like being tamed, domesticated, held down. He was finding ways to do those little tricks, but in a quote unquote legal sense, and so he was able to do it. That's the only way he survived through all of that when he was a lawyer. But now that Chuck is dead, there's nobody alive that can check him anymore. You understand? Nobody that can restrain him, hold him back. Free. He's free, exactly. And with Kim Wexler as an enabler, that not only enables him, but talks him into shit he doesn't even want to do, Howard.
Yeah.
Come on! You know? It's
crazy how he was hesitant about Howard at first.
Yeah, that's my thing, right?
Like, he just kept going with it. And I was like, what the fuck?
Brother, my thing is this, is if you want to make Kim Wexler a really interesting character and have her have an arc, don't just have her follow Saul around. Have her encourage Saul to do something he doesn't want to do. Whoever made that decision, genius, deserves a raise. Kim Wexler has gone full sicko mode, right? Oh my God. Just...
Yeah.
Oh, bombshell. All right, you know what I'm saying? She's great. Lalo was right. You know, Saul's punching up. You know what I mean? Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And, like, knowing that Vince Gilligan, the creator of Breaking Bad,
Yeah.
knowing that he left the writing team in the first half of season 3,
Yeah.
I feel like after he leaves, so much more development happens with the characters. So I wonder what it was like for him when he came back for the final season of seeing where all the characters are at now, because he missed a lot because he was doing El Camino, the movie. So he missed a lot of fucking like development until he came back. So I wonder what his reaction was like. Damn, this shit is good.
Well, you know what? Yeah, well, because he felt confident with the writers. That's one of the reasons why the whole Chuck thing worked out, because he felt really confident. Wow, they really gave me a good crew here, you know. And there's one more thing here that I want to add is that pretty much he had the entire bucket of ingredients. You know what I mean? Like he had all of it there, all the setup, and then final season comes in and he came back. He was just able to tip the bucket over into the bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just okay. Now I can put the period at the end of the sentence. You know what I mean? Oh yeah.
If anything, I feel like they even just brought him in to be like, okay, let's have it fit into Breaking Bad a little more seamlessly. So it's like let's get to Saul to where he needs to be, kind of. Towards the later in the series. But even then, I mean, he's a great writer. But you know, I feel like that's kind of mostly why he's there for the last season. It's just like we need to have it flow smoothly into
Breaking Bad. Absolutely, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. He worked on the originals; it makes sense, you know.
Yeah,
but
if anything, he would know where things should end up.
Just such a damn fine show, man. I can't say that enough. Of course, there's more to talk about, like with Ignacio. Remember when Gus was like, "Hey, get on Lalo's good side." Okay, fucking the apartment was being raided, and Ignacio saw all that shit, and then his lackeys were behind him, and they told Lalo, "Hey, all the drugs were in there. Fuck, and we're gonna lose them, huh?" And then Ignacio was like, "No, we ain't." Fucking goes out. Oh man, that's one other thing I want to point out. First of all, Michael Mando built like a Greek god. You see him, bro, with shirtless? Jesus Christ, bro. I want that body. Fucking hell, right? So he's going in there, and he does a lot of physical shit in this series, and it's crazy to witness. You know. He's over here jumping he's jumping buildings, breaking through AC vents. You know, like that's what he wants. It's awesome. It's so fucking good, man. What a show.
And the show does such a good job of like when something intense is happening and you know it looks like a character might die, but you're like, oh, this character's in Breaking Bad though. Like in the back of your mind, you know, they make like you feel it, really gonna happen. But they just do such a good job of stretching out that tension and keeping you in the moment that it doesn't take you out when you know you eventually realize like, oh, obviously.
What I like though, remember when Lalo went into Saul's home with Kim in there? What I really, really love about the show is not only does it make you already feel a little bit of tension about the character that is in Breaking Bad, but they make you feel infinitely more tension for people who aren't in Breaking Bad. Holy shit. Yeah. I thought Kim was going to die the first time I saw that scene, bro. It's like, oh, wait a minute. Like, she's not in Breaking Bad, and Lalo's, you know, he's dangerous, so, you know.
He could have easily, you know, killed or hurt Kim to get Jimmy to help him out.
That's all, bro. That's all I was thinking is, bro, Kim's going to get shot in this scene. There's no way. You know what I mean? Like, thankfully, that didn't happen, you know. Kim fucking went in there like, hey, you know what I mean? Get the fuck off my boy, you know? I thought Mike was going to shoot Lalo, too. That was another thing. It's like, you have a clear shot. Why aren't you shooting? You know?
Yeah, and it's so crazy how it's like in that scene, it feels like literally anything can happen.
Yeah.
And then when you really like put it together, not much happened.
Yeah.
It's like you were feeling tense, and then when it all releases, you're like, damn, I was tense for no reason.
He just wanted to talk. That's all it was. Yeah. Well, you know, because you know what really drummed up the fucking tension, and I love Lalo's fucking performance here. The dude was like, "Tell me again." What?
Yeah.
Tell me again. And then he says it again. Tell me again. He wants the truth. That's all he wants. He wants the truth. And then Kim comes in with a fucking Hail Mary. Like, you don't think kids shoot at fucking road signs and old cars all the fucking time? Idiot. Like, shit, you right. I didn't even think of that excuse. Yeah. I would have never in a million years thought of that excuse. Jesus Christ.
I actually kind of thought of that excuse. I'm like, well, anyone could have come across the car at some point.
Yeah, right? Shit.
But it's like, obviously Lalo is right and he knows what happened, but like even then it's like, okay, Kim does have a point.
Yeah, but, it's like, you're right. Yeah, no. It could have been that way. I'm sure that Lalo probably still thought he was right, but it's like, well, now that you mention it, yeah, of course, it's like, now that you mention it, it's like, I might be wrong.
The look he gave Jimmy when he was leaving was just, okay, you win this time.
Exactly. Yeah. Bro, I love this show so much. Everyone brings their fucking A game here. Even fucking Hector Salamanca. You know what I mean? When he was having his little mini stroke, Salamanca money, Salamanca blood. It is my birthright. I paid for this. Like, oh man, that was awesome. I love it. The
actor that plays Lalo, he's in Hawkeye.
Yeah.
The Marvel show, and I feel like if I would have watched Breaking Bad before, I would have liked his character more in Hawkeye because his character is so different from Lalo. Well, they're kind of similar. So he's one of those characters where like he comes in and he's pretty sus from the beginning. So you're like, okay, he's obviously like a villain, but then he turns out to just be like, he's just kind of like a goofy, like side character. Like he's not really the bad guy. He's just a weird person. And so I feel like if I would have seen Better Call Saul before, his performance would have like definitely been more of a spotlight for me.
Oh well. Yeah.
Also, I just don't care for that show.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I was gonna say, is like, well, you expect good writing? Look at Kingpin. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, don't give me this. Jeez.
And now, after watching Better Call Saul, it makes me like Hawkeye less. It's already my least favorite Marvel show, and I like it less because now I realize they wasted that fucking actor too.
Seriously, bro. Like when you see an actor achieve his peak in a show that like you never really see that actor do other things, like Bob Odenkirk. Holy shit, peak.
Oh,
great actor, but you don't see him in a lot of other things. It's like, so why? It's because these directors, this team knows how to use these actors. They know how to direct them. This team knows what they're doing. They can pull that performance out of you real easy. I mean, look how much. Kind of like, look how much depth they gave. Sorry, yeah, my bad. Look how much depth they gave Francesca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't need to.
They really didn't need to. She's just some one-note bitch who don't like her job. That's what they could have done. That's what they did in Breaking Bad. But here, they went with, actually, she was really nice and pleasant. She used to work at the DMV. But then over time, being exposed to all these fucking criminals and felons, you know what I mean? It's like all she did was she hated her job and she milked Saul for all of the money that it was worth because she knew that job wouldn't last forever. You know? Mm-hmm. And remember when Kim? I don't know if you've seen this scene yet. When Kim walked into the room, you did see the scene yet. Kim walked into the law firm when Francesca was there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Francesca was like real happy. Did you see that part?
Yes, she was. Yeah.
So Francesca immediately, all of a sudden, she smiled. Oh, hi Kim, how you doing? Oh yeah, no, I'm just designing this how I want. And then as soon as she talks to Saul, fucking grin goes away.
She turns into the Francesca we're used to from Breaking Bad.
Exactly. And then you'll see later on in the show that there's something else there, but I won't say anything. But it's like the completion of her arc. It's really cool. But you see, that's the thing. You don't have to add depth to these characters. You don't. But you do because you feel like this is not a character. This is a person. And it's so fucking wonderfully done. It's amazing. You know?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think part of the reason why the performances are so good and why the characters are so well written is because I think Vince Gilligan and like the Breaking Bad team, they kind of do what Rockstar does with their games, where they kind of craft the character around the actor.
That would work.
Like the actor has input on what they think the character would do, and it just makes the performance that much better because the actor is invested in what's going to happen next to my character, and that kind of thing. It's not just a job for them. It's more of just they're invested in the story as well. So every fucking scene they're in, they're like, okay, well, my character would do this, know, so they get into it.
Well, and because these continue. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, and that's part of why like Red Dead 2 is such a good fucking game because GTA 5, they write the characters around the actors.
They do.
And so when their performance comes in, they have so much more investment in the story and everything that their performance just goes from 10 to fucking 15 with how good they are.
Well, exactly. I feel like a great example of that was GTA, right? In Rockstar with Red Dead Redemption, it's because those characters to them are an extension of themselves. All right, maybe not the entirety of themselves, but definitely a part of them, and so they're able to play that part of themselves really well. For example, God of War with Christopher Judge. That is an extension of himself because he's a father of children as well. And, como se dice, that kind of guiding, loving father who's made mistakes in the past but is trying to rectify them, that is a part of Christopher Judge. He always he said it before in an interview that the performance of Kratos for him is more of like an apology for my children, because while I was acting a lot, I was always away from my family, so I wasn't always present. So my performance as Kratos is not only it's not only his fatherhood kind of coming out, but it's also an apology to his children, which Kratos also feels towards Atreus. You understand? He feels inadequate as a father, because of what he's done in the past. So it's an extension of himself. It's a real world emotion being put into a character, and so that's it. You know what I mean? That's the way you do it. It has to be. It's the best way. You either find the perfect actor for your role, or you find the perfect role for said actor. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. There's nothing else for me to say. I don't really have a lot wrong with it. Maybe you could say here and there it's a little too slow here and there, like namely with some of Gustavo Fring's scenes. But overall, man, it's amazing.
Yeah. It kind of feels like they feel the need to have Gus in the show.
Yeah.
But they don't have much to do.
Exactly.
For him to do.
There's
just kind of.
There's not much development. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just kind of like in the backdrop to be like, hey, this is connected.
You know what I would have liked for Gus to be? I would have liked Gus to be more kind of reckless throughout the show, right? Like not as calculated. And then as the show went on and he made more mistakes and more people died around him or some shit like that, he started to like really hone in, and like the evil that was in his eyes is no longer there. That hatred, But it's neither here nor there. But even though they weren't able to do that with his character, at the end of the day, they still did so much with all those other characters that I don't mind. If I were to give it a criticism, I would say Gus is probably the weakest part of the show, me personally.
Yeah.
And he's still a great...
really fucking interesting.
Exactly! He's still amazing! I'm just saying he's the weakest part. That's it, like compared to the rest of the show.
How good... That just goes to show the quality of Better Call Saul.
It's amazing.
The worst part of the show is still fucking leagues over many other shows I've seen.
There you go. You see what I mean? You get it. It's just it is what it is, man. How is literally one of the best fucking antagonists in TV history the fucking least favorite part of your show for everyone? I don't understand how. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And it shows how the creators of Better Call Saul have really matured since Breaking Bad. You know what I mean? Because you look at Breaking Bad and there's some amateurish mistakes in there, whether from lack of experience or whatnot. And then you see in Better Call Saul, you see all the shots have purpose. And all those problems that Breaking Bad had, which Breaking Bad is still fucking amazing, but it definitely had some flaws, that is not present at all in Better Call Saul whatsoever, So...
Yeah, and in a way it sucks because it feels like Better Call Saul just gets slapped with just because it's a prequel or a spin-off. It's like, it's not as good. Like, no, they've really fucking improved from Breaking Bad.
Amazing how much they've improved. It's ridiculous.
Every episode I've seen of Better Call Saul so far, my jaw is on the floor with just how it looks visually. There's some really good fucking shots in every episode. It looks good.
Let me name one.
It looks really good.
Let me name one. You know which one I'm going to say. The ice cream on the cement. What's up?
Yes.
What's up?
Yes.
It's so fucking good, dude. It's just, and here's the thing. You can make an entire video essay just on that fucking shot. You really could. What does this mean, Oh, man. The whole fucking show is just amazing, and I can't get over how well crafted. It's as if these guys were given unlimited time to make their decisions. It's ridiculous. You wouldn't think that this was made under a TV schedule. You really couldn't, you know? Mm-hmm. There's no fucking way. It's just so fucking solid. And the fact that didn't win any fucking, what was it? Emmys? Not Emmys. What is it?
Yeah, Emmys.
Emmys, yeah. The fact that Better Call Saul didn't win any Emmys. I'm sorry. Which show is better than Better Call Saul that's coming out now? I'll wait. Please tell me.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Not for any of them. Not for cinematography. Not for acting, performance, anything. I
mean, let's be real.
Let me check.
If they did give Better Call Saul its Emmys that it's due, it would win every fucking category.
But you see, that's the thing, is that's happened before with fucking Breaking Bad and The Sopranos and The Walking Dead. Like, Walking Dead has destroyed the makeup award for like 7 years straight. You know? Yeah. You know?
But I also feel that what impacts its role in the Emmys is the fact that it's viewed as, oh, it's just a prequel or a spin-off to Breaking Bad, when it's really so different and so much more. I would not be surprised if like half the people in charge of making the decision on who would be the winner haven't even seen Better Call Saul, just because it's like, oh, it's not Breaking Bad, you know?
I 100 believe that. There is no way, because if you're a guy who makes the decisions on who to vote for and what to vote for, if you don't at least consider Better Call Saul, like, are you kidding me?
It's insane.
Was it nominated?
Yeah, it's been nominated. Like,
so that means motherfuckers watched it.
It has the most. It holds the record for the most nominations without a single win.
It's ridiculous. I don't understand.
I think it had like 50-something nominations.
There must be something internal in there. There must be something internal. Because there is no way in fucking hell. No way in hell that the shows that are coming out are better than Better Call Saul. I'm just putting it out.
Someone has beef with Bob Odenkirk or
seriously.
Vince Gilligan.
Seriously. There can't be any other fucking way. And to point this out as well, if it's a political issue, let me just point this out right now. The amount of Hispanic representation in this show is immaculate. All right? They portray the cartel in a realistic way. They portray the immigration that they do with coyotes really well. They portray a lot of fucking good things here. The Dominican side of it, the Mexican side. So there's diversity. It's in there, and it does not go unnoticed. It probably goes unsaid because it doesn't really need to be said. But it's there. It exists. Okay? So it's not a political fucking issue either. The issue is internal. There's no way that the people who watch Better Call Saul really believe that Better Call Saul is worse than all these other shows. No way. No way.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the categories here now. I can see some of these other things winning, like The White Lotus apparently is a really good show. So I can see some of these, of course. But you're telling me not a single fucking win at all? There's got to be something internal. There's no way.
Yeah, over the course of its whole
runtime,
from season 1 to season 6, not a single Emmy.
Yeah, because Emmy 2024 just happened, so that means season 6 wasn't even winning anything either. Which is fucking mental. When you watch the entirety of season 6, you tell me that nobody won anything? Fuck off. There's no way.
That's where the conversation started coming up, because the Emmys just happened and Better Call Saul didn't win anything.
Right. We had this conversation.
And rightfully so, people were fucking pissed.
Because it's fucking ridiculous. There are good shows out there, but at the end of the day, Better Call Saul, 6 seasons of consistent, just magnificence, and nothing. Not even a single fucking one. That's what really bothers me. If they got something for cinematography or they got something for anything, right? Not for acting, performances, anything. They didn't have to get best fucking show, but nothing for 6 fucking seasons? No way. No way. It's not possible.
It is absolutely crazy.
I agree. It must be seen from the Emmys perspectives as, well, we'll nominate it because of the fan outcry, but it'll never win because it is supplemental, quote unquote. Fuck off.
No.
It's its own entity. It's supplemental to Breaking Bad, technically, right? Don't get me wrong, but it is its own entity.
It stands on its own 2 feet.
Very much so.
You can watch Better Call Saul without having watched Breaking Bad. You won't get the same experience, but you could do it.
You could. A lot of people did that. They watched Better Call Saul first, and then watched Breaking Bad. Me personally, I think Breaking Bad first, Better Call Saul is the best thing. I mean,
Yeah.
Giancarlo Esposito said actually you should watch Better Call Saul first, but everyone else says fucking watch Breaking Bad first. So,
Yeah. I say watch Breaking Bad and then watch the movie El Camino and then watch Better Call
Yeah,
Saul.
because you want and release a date. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you shouldn't watch Star Wars 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. You should watch
No,
4, 5,
you
6,
watch
then 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. I don't care what George Lucas says. Okay, he made 1, 2, 3 with the hindsight of 4, 5, and 6. So you're going to watch 4, 5, and 6 first. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Know?
If you watch 1, 2, and 3 without context, you're not gonna finish the series. I'm just telling you
gets
right
boring.
now.
Yeah, it really does.
You are not gonna. You're like, this is Star Wars. You're not gonna finish.
You'll get boring. You'll get boring really quickly because they throw so much shit at you in 1, 2, like in 1. First of all, because it's so out of this world. 4, 5, and 6, they kind of introduce it to you little bit by little bit because the world was building as it was being made. But now 1, it's already established. They're just adding new things. So it's like, all of a sudden, you gotta watch 4, 5, and 6 first. It is what it is.
Also, I would just say, like, the writing and the directing and pretty much everything, in my opinion, in the original trilogy is way better than it is in the prequels. I mean, the characters in the original trilogy are so fucking likable and iconic that when you get to the prequels, and if that's your introduction to Star Wars,
no way.
I am so sorry.
No way. I am so sorry.
Because it's like these characters are fucking boring and lifeless, and they talk like fucking robots, and it's not Star Wars. I mean, it is because they have their moments, but it's not the Star Wars I think of when I hear Star Wars.
I really feel like they could have gotten a fucking crew that knew how to work with actors. Because you could tell how fucking robotic and monotone some of these performances was. The people who were there working with the actors did not know how people worked. Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? It was
honestly,
ridiculous.
In my opinion, I would tell people don't watch episodes 1 and 2. Just watch Clone Wars, the TV show. And then when you're done with that, watch episode 3.
That's fair. Yeah, because 1 and 2 are the worst of its kind. 1 was fine because of the Darth Maul. I love Darth Maul, right? But see, that's the only thing. The only real good redeemable thing in there is Darth Maul, and I really like the effects as well.
And then he doesn't have a character.
Darth Maul's not even a character. He's a set piece. You know what I mean?
He's just there for a cool fight at the end.
Exactly, right? So there are definitely good moments in 1, but 2 is the worst one out of the entire 6.
Yeah,
We don't talk about 7, 8, 9. So of the 6, 2 was the worst one. Easy. It's just if the performances were better, I wouldn't mind, but they weren't, and I don't blame the actors. They were real young when they were doing it. I blame the direction.
Yeah,
fucking.
For sure.
What's his name?
George Lucas.
No, the Anakin's.
Hayden Christensen.
Hayden Christensen. I'm 100% behind the idea that he could have pulled a better performance if they actually gave a fuck about his performance.
Yeah, no, Hayden Christensen. They brought him back for the Ahsoka TV show and Obi-Wan, and so he did a lot of interviews and stuff, and you can tell that he fucking loves Star Wars. Like, he loves being Anakin, and genuinely, like, you can pull a great performance out of him because from what I've seen from the clips of Ahsoka and Obi-Wan, you can tell that he gives a shit, and he's not a bad actor. I think it's George Lucas just is not a good director.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, I am 100% that idea is that whoever was directing the interaction, the performances themselves. I'm not talking about the shots because they were good. I'm not talking about special effects because they were good. I'm talking about the performances themselves, which can make or break a movie, was simply non-existent. You understand?
And the thing is, like, George Lucas had full creative control over episodes 1, 2, and 3. And, people don't really like the prequels, but people love the original trilogy, episodes 4, 5, and 6.
What happened?
The only movie that George Lucas had full creative control in was the first one, A New Hope, episode 4. 5 and 6 were written and directed by different people, but George Lucas gave input on, like, the universe of Star Wars and what he wants to happen, but he didn't direct those movies. They were directed by other people, and I think that's part of why they are so much better, because George Lucas is a man of ideas, but I don't think his execution is very good on those ideas.
I mean, people always talk about 5, and then the continuation into 6, My thing at the end of the day, man, is the thing is Hayden Christensen at the time was definitely capable of such a performance. Look at 3. I mean, you could. I'm not saying that he was perfect in every single scene, because he wasn't. He still gives that robotic tone. But the one thing that I can say without a shadow of a doubt is that Hayden Christensen in 3 can display rage. He can display all of that fear and all of that emotion when he was about to kill the younglings, when he's fighting Obi-Wan, in his face, you can tell that there's a good fucking performance there. It just was not extracted correctly. You understand? Ewan McGregor is kind of impervious to this, even though his performance was inconsistent, because one time he's joking, the other time it's real serious. It's like, make up your mind. You know what I mean? But once again, I don't blame Ewan for that. It's not his fault. It's the direction. That's it. So I don't blame them at all. I don't blame Natalie Portman for her fucking performance, because she's an amazing actress. At that time, she was an amazing actress. It's just that there's no direction, man.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the fucking if you can't make Samuel Jackson make a badass performance, if you don't give Samuel Jackson a fucking monologue, did you make a movie? Because I don't think you did.
All I think of when I think of Samuel Jackson in Star Wars is his line delivery after Anakin tells him he thinks Palpatine is a Sith Lord. Samuel Jackson just goes, "A Sith Lord?" That shit kills me every time. And he has like the straightest face possible. He's so emotionless.
Well, you see, that's what that is. Is that, remember our point earlier that the characters kind of reflect the actors themselves? This is what happens when the actors have nothing to do with the characters that they're playing. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think what's his name? Count Dooku. What was his name? I forget his name.
Oh, Christopher Lee.
Yeah, Christopher Lee, I feel like was the kind of exception to this. He played his character really well. I liked him. And unfortunately, I didn't like his fight scenes. I did like the one with Anakin, but that's it. No, dude, but it's just my thing. I did like Christopher Lee. That's the name, Christopher Lee?
Yeah.
Okay, I did like him in that series, but I don't think it was because of the direction. I think I liked him because of his natural charisma. He's been doing this shit forever,
Oh, yeah, he's a classically trained actor.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I mean, he was like, I'm not a huge fan of the movies, but I think he was pretty badass in Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need to see the Lord of the Rings movies. I haven't seen them.
They are long as fuck, but I do want to watch them again and get like a better grip, because I don't remember. I binge watched them, and it was the extended edition, so all 3 movies blend together into one for me.
Oh, we'll make a fucking day out of it. Yeah, we'll watch the whole fucking thing. Watch the whole trilogy.
Not the extended cuts, please. Next time I watch it, I'm watching the theatrical.
There are extended cuts?
Yes. Return of the King, the 3rd one, is literally over 4 hours long if you watch the extended cut. It was like watching a TV show, I swear to God.
Oh my God, that's actually hilarious. We'll go act by act.
Like, dude, it was so fucking long. And then hearing about The Hobbit, that they took a book that was like, the book is so short, and they turned it into a trilogy. It sounds so bad.
No, people say it's horrible. Don't watch that, please. Don't do it.
Yeah, the Battle of the 5 Armies, the last Hobbit movie, is based on 5 pages. And it is a 2.5-hour movie.
Fuck.
It is based on 5 pages of. I was like, "Are you joking?" Jesus I don't think I'm ever gonna watch the Hobbit. I'll watch the fucking animated Hobbit movie from like 1972.
Yeah, before I watch that shit. Yeah. Well, you know what The Hobbit was, man? It was just like, hey, Lord of the Rings, hot trilogy. People loved it. Let's make more money. That's all that was. Jesus Christ. Well, and they followed a formula. What's up?
I actually watched a whole documentary on The Hobbit without watching the movies. But originally, it was supposed to just be one movie, maybe a 2-parter, depending on how they were going to do it. And it was going to be made by Guillermo del Toro. And I was like, that actually sounds fucking cool. It was going to be, they were going to do the prequel thing where it was before Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy, like keep it in the same universe. But then, like, it was just development hell because Warner Brothers wanted a trilogy, but the book wasn't long enough to make a trilogy out of. So Del Toro dropped out because his vision wasn't being realized. So they brought in Peter Jackson. They're like, yeah, you did a great job with Lord of the Rings. Can you do it again with The Hobbit? And he's like, I fucking guess. And they're like, okay, great. We're going to give you half the budget and half the time to make it happen. and so now it's just a ugly ass CG fest of a movie.
Jesus Christ.
Where Lord of the Rings is fucking praised for its set design and its makeup and all the fucking, the fun characters and the cool story.
The time and
Hobbit
attention.
has none of that shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lord of the Rings pre-production took 3 years.
Fuck!
It took 3 years for pre-production, and then the actual production itself was over a year long because they filmed all 3 movies back to back.
Fucking hell! Back to back?
So Lord of the Rings is a trilogy, but they filmed it as one movie.
Well, it was James Cameron, right?
Peter Jackson.
My bad. Peter Jackson.
King Kong. Yeah,
I get them mixed up, but Peter Jackson at the time he was so fucking red hot. You know what I mean? So they gave him they gave him everything.
Especially after Lord of the Rings, they're like, all right, you can do whatever fucking movie you want.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? And he's like, I want to remake King Kong. They gave him fucking King Kong. So,
it made money. It may not have been the best quality wise, but it made a lot of fucking money. And I like it. Oh, yeah. It's a good movie.
It made money. And, I mean, I think now people have grown on it a lot more versus back when it came out.
Yeah.
I think when it came out, a lot of people are like, oh, it's just King Kong. And it's like, well, yeah, I don't know what you expected. Like, it's the same story as the original King Kong.
There's definitely some cheesy depth to it. Like, some of it was like a little too on the nose. But first of all, the effects really do hold up till now. I also like the performances, even though sometimes they were a bit cheesy as well. There's a perfect amount of camp to those scenes, And for me personally, I think it's a really fun watch. It's just a longer film, so people didn't really enjoy that. If they didn't enjoy that for a King Kong flip, people are expecting 3.5 hours. You know what I'm saying? But overall, it was a real fun time, and I mean, Jack Black pulled a really good performance here. I mean, he portrays his character perfectly. And Naomi Watts plays like a good final girl as well. So overall, it was a really solid watch. It's not perfect, and it definitely has its flaws, but it's a really solid watch. I'd give it a solid 7. I really would. Basically because of how fucking excellent the set design was and how crazy the effects were and the attention to detail. There was a lot of that there, too. So I'd say a solid 7.
See, that's what Peter Jackson did with fucking Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and apparently those are 10s out of 10s. I haven't seen them. So.
There is a whole battle between 2 armies, and I think it's the second movie. All of it is practical.
Wow.
And one of the armies is orcs, bro. Not even humans. Like, that shit is crazy.
Well, that's the thing, and that's how they make so much fucking cash. Is that there's so much attention to fucking detail, and the movie is timeless. You could watch it in 40 years, it would still feel like fresh. I love it.
And it really helps that with King Kong and with Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson fucking loves the source material. You can tell. Yeah. I watched a whole YouTube video talking about behind the scenes of his King Kong adaptation. Bro, he fucking loves the original movie. Like, to the point where there are details in the remake that you wouldn't even notice were in the original. Because for him, it's just like, it's one of those movies he's just ingrained it in his mind.
Oh, yeah.
And then you watch the movie and you're like, oh, that's a cool effect. But then for him, it's just like, yeah, it's actually like a version of an effect they did in the original that they took out of the movie because it looked kind of goofier. It was too scary, and you're like, what the fuck, man? Like, I wouldn't have known any of this shit.
Well, you see, that's the thing, and this trait of a director, it transfers to everybody in that industry. Whether you're a composer, you're a director, you're an actor, anything. If you love the material that you're working on, that passion will show through the screen, and it will make the audience feel that as well. That's what we do with our videos. Is that if we love making them, if we love editing them, recording them, all of that love, all of that passion gets pushed into the audience as well, and they feel that towards us directly. Not just our material, but us directly, because our brand is us. So. Yeah. Como se dice, that level of love for the craft, what you're doing, the source material, if you genuinely feel that, the audience will feel that with you, and it's amazing. It's a transcendent kind of experience. It's amazing. We went to Disney last week. That was amazing. We went on Tron.
Good time.
We went on the Tron ride at the end of the cycle, like right after the fireworks. Which, by the way, I've never seen the fireworks till today, or till last week rather, and it was fucking awesome, just transcendent. It was so amazing. Yeah. And I got to share that experience with my boy Squeedo. It's my guy right there. You know,
we gotta go see the fireworks at Hollywood Studios now.
We do. I'm telling you, bro. Early March. All right, just let them out. We had a really productive conversation afterwards as well. I believe that we kind of shared each other's energy, and I feel like we came out of that. I felt like we came out of that house as better men. You know. We did everything that we could possibly do. We did everything. We didn't go on Jungle Cruise because it wasn't worth our time. But we fucking went to the Haunted Mansion. We went to fucking Space Mountain twice, bro. Like, oh man,
dude, Space Mountain is so fucking good.
It was so fucking fun, man. Oh man, my first time ever being on Space Mountain, I got on the front fucking row. Oh my god, that was crazy. You
had the perfect view.
And this son of a bitch, the second time we went, we were in the back. I was in the 5th seat. He was in the 6th, the final. And while we were in it, the motherfucker grabs my shoulders like, oh, hey! You know, don't do that, you know? She son of a bitch, you know what I mean? Fucking scared the fuck. He was laughing the whole time because he was getting tickled by the ride or some shit. I don't know.
I was being literally dragged.
It sounded like he was masturbating or something. It's fine. You know, it's okay. Whatever.
I had to rub it on your shoulder.
Jesus, no! Oh, God! Both hands, bro. Goddamn!
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Time comes. Oh man, I'm cringing now in real life. Oh man, that was bad.
I was on a time crunch.
Right. Go say so. We share cotton candy. Oh my god, it was so romantic. Yeah, it was fun, man. It really was.
Yeah, good time.